So, today we are going to look at the stress response, and it might help to explain why you might be feeling anxious or worried, stressed, stuck, and not really even knowing why. So, we'll look at the nervous system and how it responds to threat. We'll ask some questions and explore the answers together. We'll also end with a little bit of a somatic practice just to help you reconnect with your nervous system and your body. So the stress response is our body's natural survival response. So our nervous system has one goal, and it is to keep us safe, to keep us alive. So it's constantly scanning our environment, both external and internal, to just make sure we're safe. And if it gets cues of danger or threat, then that's when our body shifts into that stress response. So when our nervous system detects that threat or that stress, then it goes into a protective response. And this happens without conscious awareness. Our nervous system just moves into this response. And so if you move into that hyperarousal, you're going to feel that heart rate increase, your breathing is going to quicken, your muscles are going to tense, and so you're moving into that fight or that flight. So you're going to want to argue or defend, maybe run away or avoid something. So that's one of the states that we might move into when we're faced with a threat, when our nervous system feels threatened. The other state that you might move into is hypoarousal, which is also known as that freeze state. So when something is too much, we might become disconnected, numb, exhausted, depressed. And so we might move into either one of those if we're faced with that threat. We can also move into that freeze state, that disconnection, after being up in that sympathetic state, that hyperarousal, where you have a lot of energy and you're in that fight flight. Your nervous system might afterwards drop down into that hypoarousal, more of that freeze state, because of all the energy that it takes to be in that sympathetic state. So when we are in one of these protective states, our nervous system mobilizes energy away from certain rest and digest functions. So our digestive system and our immune system, and it takes that energy and moves it towards our muscles and our heart in order to run or to flee or to fight whatever it is that we need to do. Also, if we move into that collapse or that shutdown, it shuts down those functions to preserve energy. So it's always looking at where the body needs the energy, and it's kind of moving it to that area. So it's a beautifully designed system. It makes so much sense if this is happening in the short term. So historically, if we're being chased by a tiger, we need to move into one of these states in order to survive. Nowadays, when we're checking emails or if we have a confrontation with someone, we're moving into these states more often. It's like our nervous system hasn't quite caught up with just how different the world is today. So when we're spending so much more time in this stress response, then all of these, our digestive system, our immune system, is being shut down so much that we might get sick easier. We might have digestive issues, and we all know that gut-brain connection and digestion can cause so many different health issues in the body. So this stress response that is supposed to just help us periodically to help us survive, and it's being activated all of the time in modern life. So that is causing us to be sick and stressed a lot of the time. So when we spend a lot of time in those protective states, they actually become more familiar for us. They become patterns. And so we begin to respond more easily and move into those states. So fight, for example, might be a protective state that we kind of gravitate towards or move into. Maybe it worked at some point in our past through our experience, and so it's something that we move into. Flight for some people, running away, avoiding, might be a response, a protective response that they kind of move towards. And so the nervous system learns through repetition and through experience. And so we keep using these responses, and so it keeps responding that way. The nervous system doesn't like change, and so it doesn't want to do anything differently. This is what's worked in the past, so I'm going to continue doing this, and I'm going to continue to respond this way. So this is where nervous system work comes in, different exercises that we can do to help connect with our body and nervous system, and to kind of bring us into the present moment. And so the goal is about building more awareness and flexibility in the nervous system, because remembering that the nervous system is a beautifully designed system that is helping us to survive. It just sometimes gets a little overactive in certain areas. So we need to be aware of our patterns, and then use certain strategies to help us shift those patterns, even though we need all of the states. So I think I'm going to end it there. And I'm going to move into a little bit of a somatic exercise where we're going to begin noticing what's happening in the body and the nervous system, and kind of identifying maybe our own patterns and where we might gravitate towards when we're moving into that stress response. So for our practice today, we're going to start to tune into the body, to the nervous system story, as well as to our environment. So just starting to slow down and just maybe noticing. So I want you to find a comfortable position. You can stand if you'd like, you can sit down, you can lie down, whatever is best for you. Pause this video if you want to move somewhere else. Maybe you want to grab a fuzzy blanket or something around you or to hold that's comfortable. You're welcome to do that as well. And then you're going to settle in. So once you find that space, that seat, however you'd like to be, just taking a moment and just slowing down and noticing, first of all, how does that feel in the body? Can you feel yourself moving into a different state? Sometimes it can be quite uncomfortable to move into stillness for some of us. Maybe there's that urge to flee, to get up, to run. This isn't safe. Just notice what might be coming up as you just begin to slow down. Without any judgment, just with curiosity. And then maybe you're beginning to notice your space. So maybe you're looking around. And just really moving your eyes around the space, turning your head, looking up and down, all around. And noticing if you can slow down this movement. Maybe your eyes land on something. Maybe you take a few moments to just notice, again, how that feels. Is it something pleasant? Do you like the color? Maybe it causes some discomfort or emotion to come up. Maybe there's a window that you can look out. Noticing how the breath is flowing. Maybe a deep breath comes in. If so, Taking that deep breath or that yawn. Maybe in your environment, you can notice those sounds as well. And as you begin to orient your space, noticing the sounds and what you see, notice how that feels in the body. Is there sensation somewhere? Is there tingling or heat or coolness? And again, without that judgment, we're not trying to attach any stories or meaning. If they come up, that's okay. But just notice if you can notice with curiosity, without always having to judge. Maybe there's some smells in your environment that you can notice. Maybe when you tune into the body, you can notice certain areas that feel calm and relaxed. Maybe there's certain areas where you can feel some tension or some tightness. Maybe the head or the neck has some tension and you want to roll the head a little bit, find a little bit of movement. Maybe that's a different part of your body. Again, just acknowledging what's happening in the body. And then noticing if the body wants to move in a certain way. If there's a breath. If you want to close your eyes, or maybe you want to keep them open, looking around the space. Maybe it feels nice to begin to bring in a little bit of touch. Maybe you have that fuzzy blanket that you want to hold on to or feel the texture of that. Maybe you want to wrap your hands around your arms, maybe giving yourself a little bit of a hug, just noticing how that feels. Maybe your hands move up and down the arms. You could also place the hands on the body, noticing, again, does that feel comforting? Maybe it doesn't. And then when you are ready, just beginning to move or continuing to move if that's what you were doing. Maybe you're stretching a little bit as you kind of come back from moving between our environment and our body. And I would just like to take this moment to thank you so very much for joining me today to learn about the stress response and for our practice. I hope that you decide to check out my channel, subscribe, and look at all of the videos that I have up on there. And I hope this has helped you. Thank you so very much.